time someone would bring you a problem, you would expect them to bring a solution to the problem. Can you talk more about that and how do you get staff to do that?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I had a rule, and again, this is going to be a surprise, leadership systems training, right? So from a leadership perspective, at team meetings, we would talk about this. And anytime anyone would bring a solution, and I would teach why, like, I would pump people up, like if you notice the problem, then you're smart enough to notice what the solution is because you're the one who deals with the problem. So bring the solution. Like, it's fine to raise a problem, but it's not fine to just find fault, because anybody can do that. I used to say that the least valuable team member is the one who complains, who just finds fault. Like, anybody can find fault, but I need a solution. You become valuable when you bring a solution. Identifying a problem and how to solve it, that's great. We want that. But we don't want people who can just pick at stuff. Like, anyone can just take shots, right? Like, that's easy. Mm-hmm. And we tend to do that because that's our human nature, unfortunately, to find fault and assign blame. But that's, again, side discussion. But knowing that, you want to specifically train your team and coach your team to think in a way that is, again, because this benefits them in the business, it benefits them in their personal life. It's a far better, it's like an operating system upgrade for the person, right? It's a far better way to function, right? So when someone would raise an issue, team meeting, me directly, or anything, I would always ask, okay, I understand, how would you solve it? Just ask them for it. Well, I don't know. Okay, well, why don't you think about it and come back to me? Don't drop your problem on my lap and expect me to solve it for you and then just walk away. Okay, well, that's great. I understand. Sounds like this is an issue we need to solve. How would you solve it? Okay, well, if you're not sure, that's fine. Think about it and come back to me with a suggestion. What do you think we should do? I'm open to suggestions, but I'm not going to give them to you, even if I know the answer. I just want people to start thinking. And it's really valuable, by the way, when your team can start thinking like that, because they can solve their own problems. And then when you put them in a leadership position or you have a leadership team, you don't need to be there because they can solve their own problems. But you'd be surprised how many people have no wiring for that. It's just, they show up and, hey, this is a problem. I don't know. You fix it. Why? Why can't you fix it? Right? I need people to be able to do stuff while I'm drilling teeth. And the only way to build that is to just have a system, have a process, have it be that's how we do things here. So I would beat that up at team meetings. Sometimes I would open floor, identify issues, problems, sticking points in the running of the business. But the caveat is, if you're going to raise a problem, you have to raise a solution. Otherwise, keep your mouth shut. And that was like, we did that frequently. Mm-hmm. The thing I never want in a meeting is complaining. I'm good with problem solution. I'm not good with complaining, because I'm sure everyone who's watching this has had or been a part of a meeting where it was just complaining. That is, anyone can do that, right? We need solutions. And then all I would write is the solutions on a board. I wouldn't even write the problems, because what are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on what's going in the right direction. What moves us closer to our goals. We're not going to focus on the problems. And so we would write down a bunch of solutions, and we would say, okay, here's some things that we want to work on. Who wants to work on them? And I would start delegating out tasks. Or maybe we would just say, okay, we're going to take this to a leadership meeting, depending on the magnitude of the issues, and then we'll start building those things out. But that's how I would approach it.
Perfect.